Good afternoon. My name is Ricardo Bonegas, and we are starting with this Uppersky plugin. Right now, we have like our guest, who is Romina Kohei. She's one girl from Argentina. She's in Czech Republic since 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And she has been working on project management. She has this background, and actually she has passed from the working on other companies and her own business right now. And well, I don't have any more to say about this, but I would like you to introduce yourself and
Sure.
start to talk about your projects and your lessons.
Okay. So I'll give you a little bit more background of
Yeah.
who am I, because and where I'm coming from, so you can understand the rest of the things that I do as well. So, as you mentioned, I form as a project manager, and I'm also a coach.
All right.
And I started besides GliderPath, I also have another endeavor, which is project management. And the reason why I started with project management is that I wanted to help people to live the life of their dreams. While doing this, by actually doing what they love, and what they always wanted to do. And I'm telling you this. This is very important because this is the whole reason behind becoming an entrepreneur and creating GliderPath as well.
All right. Good. So, well, basically, we are talking about that you are the co-founder of one project called GliderPath. So, we would like to know which are the origins of this project and talk more about what this is.
Okay. So GliderPath, just to give you a brief overview of what it is. It's a software, and it's a management tool for translation project managers, specifically for people in the translation industry. So this is what it is. Sounds really cool. How we started working on this has to do with what I've been telling you before about building your own life or the life that you always wanted. So because I wanted to help people have the life of their dreams, I also wanted it for myself.
All right.
And that basically means I wanted to be able to work from anywhere in the world, being my own boss.
All right.
and and this is how my journey on entrepreneurship started. I wanted to just do something for myself and be independent and enjoy freedom. And that's the principle on which GliderPath is based. So how we started with GliderPath is a very cool story, because when we started about around December,
All right.
we had no idea what we were going to build. We didn't know which market we were going to target. We didn't have any money. And we were tech savvy, but we didn't have any background on how to create a development or support person.
All right.
And that's how we started.
Good. Well, later you will be mentioning how did you get from the idea to what you are right now. So that's the idea. So, well, you talk about the origins of GliderPath, and well, maybe during all of these months that you have been working about the project, you can mention some of the lessons that you have learned. And
a lot.
Yeah.
I'm still learning a lot, but I will tell you which were the steps that we took from that moment of, okay, we want to do something, we know which values we want to apply, we have no idea what to do. There were certain set of steps we had to take, and in each step we learned a lot. So I will walk you through those steps if you're okay with it.
All right. Yeah.
So the first thing, and this is super important, the first thing we had to work on was in our mindset.
All right.
And this was the most important of all, because we had to overcome all these obstacles that we were putting in our minds, all these limiting beliefs like, this is not something that I can do, or think I had nothing to offer. So all of these we had to work on in order to. These were things that we were telling ourselves because we were scared, basically. So in reality, everyone has something to offer. Even if you do the same thing as 100 people, you're a unique person and you have a unique perspective. So everybody has something to offer. So this is the acquisition tool. That's so we get started. But then, in order to get into entrepreneurial mindset, we sort of had to put what people call green glasses. Not actually glasses, but what I mean is being able to see business opportunities everywhere. There are business opportunities everywhere. You just need to focus and know where to look. Like, for example, if you have some friends, it happened to me. I have a lot of friends who complain that they don't have the ability to call on the phone and get ice cream at home. So that's an actual business opportunity because I could create like an ice cream delivery service. It's a very silly example, but that's the mentality you will have to see the abundance of business idea and to start coming from like a more abundant place.
Okay.
So that would be the first step for me. So that in itself was a huge lesson. Took a few months to get on the right mindset. The second thing that we had to do was to choose our market. So we knew that we wanted to start, but where to start? That again is another lesson for me because we need to choose the right market. You choose the right market, you can have, but then you end up not having anyone to sell it to, or the people who want to buy it don't have the money, or you end up hating your market because it's something horrible that doesn't inspire you. So that again was
how did you actually find this market of the translator? How was the?
I have some background in translation and localization, so I knew the market already. But we were thinking about many other markets that we were actually interested in. So we were thinking about, okay, so which is the market that it has to hit a couple of figures that we're really interested in, that we are comfortable with spending at least the next 10 years working with those kind of people, the same people over and over. And in this sense, translation was really cool because we really liked the market, we liked the way translation connects culture, so we really liked, we're comfortable spending time with people around the world. But you also have to consider other stuff, like the market has to be big enough that you actually can distribute your product. Also, it has to be businesses because otherwise nobody will be able to pay for your product.
Yeah, of course.
And because we wanted to build software, we also tried to choose a market that is used to using software and is used to paying for software. It was important that we chose this. And,
all right. So
that's how we chose.
All right. Yeah. So you have some kind of background on this, and you figured it out which are the market who needs this kind of software because you wanted to specialize more about this kind of solutions to automatize the project.
Exactly. But for example, having experience in the market is not mandatory. We could have as easily started in marketing, online marketing businesses, for example, which was one of the markets that we were considering. It's not mandatory because then while you're doing the next step, you learn about the market. But the other steps like have to be it's a make or break deal. Like they have to have money, they have to have expertise software.
Yeah. So basically, how did you figure out this? Well, you have one idea, and later.
We didn't start with any idea whatsoever.
Yeah, of course. But later that you got your idea and your stuff, you went to the translator and you asked them. What did you ask them?
Well, now when we had the market, we needed to find the idea. So what we did was we follow a really, really good process. It's called idea extraction process.
All right.
And I learned this from a guy. His name is Dane Maxwell. He's a super cool entrepreneur, super successful software entrepreneur, and he has a program that is called the Foundation. So check it out. It's really cool. So I learned this process from him, and basically it has a certain step that you have to follow. Basically, you go to the market, you choose the business owners or the people you want to target. Just send an email, pick up the phone, and ask questions, and ask questions, and ask questions. and listen what they have to say. So the type of questions that you ask is what are the kind of problems that you're having running your business at the moment? Or what is something that is making you waste money that you wish were automated or that you could do it differently? So these are the kind of questions that you ask, and I can tell you because they have to tell you about problems that they have. I already asked them these kind of questions.
Yeah, if you say that you are gonna be boss, also we are gonna be happy to.
So, but the funny thing is, like when you're asking this, you're also asking them what would be your ideal solution, and they tell you also the same. And so that's how you get the idea from the market. Your idea, but the market actually gives you the idea.
All right. So interesting point of view. So you get the idea from the market.
They themselves tell you.
Nice, nice.
But then the really interesting part is the part that you were asking me about, which is validation. Right. So we have the idea, and then we sketch a solution with all the information that they give. So we sketch a solution, and we have two steps for validation. The first step is we go back to the people that we talked to and say, hey, do you like what I created just for you? This is what you were needing. And they give you a lot of feedback on how they actually want that solution. And we ask, of course, a lot more. So in this process, you generate a relationship with them, and they see that you're creating a solution for them. And they basically tell you, yeah, this is something that I would use. But the most important question is not that. The most important question that you need to ask them is, are you willing to pay for it?
All right. And
because if they know that what you created is something that is really nice to have someday, but it's not something that they really need.
All right. So, but basically, well, you asked this, and they funded you, or they didn't give you money because of the project. Yeah.
That's the second part of the validation. When they say, yeah, I will pay for it, well, you actually get to the part where you sell your product without having the product built yet.
All right.
How and why? That's very important. The reason why presenting is so important is because if people are ready to pay for your product, then right there you have a paying customer. That's the most important kind of validation you can have. When you already have a paying customer, you have a business.
All right. Yeah.
The second, why it's also important is because you're actually asking them to be part of your team in order to solve the problem that they have. And it's a natural extension of the previous steps that you took anyway. You just ask them to, okay, so collaborate with you, and they are really happy to because they're actually working on some problem that they themselves cannot or will not have the time to solve. So it's a very natural step. It's like some sort of partnership. It has nothing to do with like pushing a sell or nothing like that. It's very natural. So for us, pre-selling was also important because we decided, as I said in the beginning, we had no money. And so we decided to bootstrap, and that means we didn't want any outside investors because we wanted to be the owners of our vision and stay focused on creating a super cool product and get funds and chase money takes a lot of time and a lot of focus away from what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it, but this is the approach that we took.
All right.
And so the actual money that we get from our founding members or the early adopters, as we call them, goes into the development of the product.
All right. Nice. And during all of this process, you could mention some kind of what was the most challenging stuff you passed?
Everything. No, the thing is that when you start, you're very focused on getting things right. So the first step seems very, very challenging because you're trying to find the right market. And you think that when you're done with that step, the rest will be easy and natural, but it's not. Once you learn that part, then the next part, which is idea extraction. Also, idea extraction is like a beautiful process because it brings out all your limiting beliefs, because you basically have to call people on the phone and tell, hey, you don't know me, but tell me what are your problems.
All right.
And so it gets the best out.
So you make it by phone, not by in person.
Well, because I'm targeting like a worldwide market, but I know other entrepreneurs that were working in a similar way that did in person.
All right.
And it's the same process. So it brings out all your worst fears, but once you overcome them, it's like it push you out there. It's really, really cool. But every day is a challenge in reality, because entrepreneurship is difficult. You have to be willing to have an adventure.
All right. And well, and actually, as a woman entrepreneur, what do you think about what could you inspire other girls to start and believe their ideas and make it possible and execute them?
As a woman entrepreneur, okay, I have a business partner that is I'm working with, and he's male. He, and we started our journey together. And in reality, being a woman didn't make my journey any more or less difficult than his. And we were working very close. So what I can say, okay, there is something women usually tend to have in general, not only in entrepreneurship, to put up with some stereotypical attitude from people, like being emotional. I don't know. This is the one that I can think of. And a lot of others. So what I would say for that is overcome your limiting belief of I'm not good enough. This is a bullshit story that you tell yourself, and believe in yourself. But it's the same thing that I would say to any person starting in entrepreneurship. You just need to give the first step. Screw the rest of the people. Just give the first step, and you don't need much. You don't even need an idea. I just
you just tell it.
I just prove and know.
Nice. So well, finally, I would say that it's more about you can introduce people. We share the website of your project. We share the social networks and all this stuff where people can know about your project, and of course, maybe your personal blog that you have really interesting information there for entrepreneurship too. So,
if you want to check out GliderPath, which is our software startup, it's very, very cool. You can find information at GliderPath.com. I don't know if we're going to put some links afterwards.
Yeah, I'm gonna put.
Can do that. And there you can find also information about our early adopters program, which is what we're using to do pre-selling.
Alright. Yeah.
And if somebody from the translation industry is watching this, you can contact me.
Alright.
Because one of the things that we're doing with pre-selling is, yes, we're asking them to be part of our team to solve their problems, but we're also giving a lot of value in return for that, because that's the premise of every of the business plans. We have give value, massive value. So there are many things that we give back to the market if they become early adopters. So we started with the idea that we wanted to have 3, and then we said let's say 10, because 10 is the maximum, and we actually got 7, and we still have a little more space for couple. So there. You can also find GliderPath in Twitter at GliderPath, or LinkedIn, or Facebook.
Alright.
And then for cool project management, which is you can live the life of your dream and advise on project management, business, entrepreneurship. Then you can go to coolprojectmanagement.com. And if you want to catch me at any time to have a chat or ask me any questions, just email me at romina@rominakohei.com. Or you can also, and this is a really cool tool that I found, it's called Calendly, and it's free. And you can just go to calendly.com /Romina, and just set up a meeting with me.
All right.
Check out the tool, it's really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I will have to check it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time and
thank you
introduce
for your time as well and inviting me here. It was really, really cool. I wanted to say many other things, but now I cannot remember.
Don't worry, it's okay. Well, basically, well, we can write about in the blog post more information that you have highlight on your notes, and well, we can talk about this as well. And maybe people are gonna make comments about this.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being with us, and bye.